What's up, guys? It's Sunday, which means I gotta record a video. I wear glasses, but beside the point. So I titled this video, or believed I titled it, "Why You Should Quit Video Games," or "Video Games Are Stealing Your Life," or something along those lines. So I typically don't get 2 day weekends, but I did get a 2 day weekend today, which is very nice. This weekend, yesterday and today, very nice. And it was one of the longer weekends I've had in a long time. And get to that in a second, but last weekend it was a holiday weekend, Memorial Day. I actually got 3 days, and it didn't feel as long as this weekend did, and I didn't enjoy it as nearly as much as I did this weekend. Um, so what we did was we didn't. Well, and we don't. We're not video game addicts in my house, but sometimes when my sisters are off, at school, not doing school, play a game. We'll hang out, do some stuff. I don't really play games by myself anymore, but when I'm with someone else, I don't know how to really play with little kids, anyways. But besides the point. Um, so, but I've been off and on. I've been trying to come up with stuff to do with them, and come to I don't know how to. I'm not really doing a very good. I'm not doing a very good job of articulating the thoughts in my head because I got a lot of things going through it at once. But I'll start by painting a picture. Basically, when I was a little kid, I didn't really play games a lot. I mean, I did when I got a little older. I started becoming a video game addict. But when I was young, I grew up before the first smartphone. I was born before Facebook, born before YouTube, born before a lot of things. So when we had fun, what we do would go outside, we'd screw around. Me and Danny would just chase around to chase our dogs, or play with the dogs, or run around to chase each other, do stupid games. My mom and dad probably doing some work, or getting a bonfire started or something. And then when the fire came over, we'd all hang out by the fire, just hang out, and it was fun. So fast forward, a few years, well, more than a few years. um, but I'm with my sisters, and I'm like, let's just go outside and throw some on the grill. Maybe I don't know, get some salsa going. I'm half Mexican, but um, we char the vegetables before we make a salsa, and eventually we said like, well, we don't have a whole lot of charcoal. We'll just start burning some wood, and eventually start burning more wood, and eventually we kind of had like a little bonfire thing going on, and we ended up spending the entire day outside, and it was great, and it felt like forever. And it's not even the time I normally go to bed at, and I'm about to go to bed. Normally I go to bed at like 2, 3, 4 sometimes. It feels like the day just goes by like that. And in my little free time I get when I get home from work, sometimes I'm being a little dumbass, little Jeffrey, and I'm on my phone swiping away at stuff just to kind of quote unquote wind down, but it doesn't actually wind you down, it winds you up. I know that, but I still do that sometimes. Or sometimes I just, whatever the case may be, I go to bed really late, and it's 12:30 right now, roughly, and I feel tired. I was out there from sun, the sun is midday, whatever, to it went all the way down, and it was 12 o'clock, and it went down at like 8:30, 8:45, and hung out till 12 o'clock with my sisters, and I still gotta go to school, so they went to bed, but um, it was one of the longest days. And for the first part of the day, I hung out for a little bit, played some games, and I had to take my mom out for Mother's Day, so we took her out today. Um, but despite wasting half of the day, oh, and then going outside and having that bonfire, it was one of the longest days I've had in a long time. And I can only imagine how much longer it would have been, in a good way, if I had just gone outside from the beginning. Um, but I guess the moral of the story I'm trying to create here is that video games technology steals your life. Sorry if that story took a long time and people probably clicked off this video to watch something else because I wasn't doing a very good job of articulating, and then I didn't. It took a lot, 4 minutes before I actually got to the point, which is technology steals your life. It stole my life for many years. Many years of my life, my childhood, especially in the later part of it, was completely, wholly, totally, and solely fucking wasted playing video games. I didn't even like. I didn't even enjoy playing. And I get like a couple of hits of dopamine here and there, and if I got a headshot, Need for Speed, I hit Daniel, my brother, sorry, I shouldn't say his name, but like, and he, I so stupid little fucking stuff, you know. Like you do something cool in the game and you're happy for 5 seconds, and you go back to the angry competitive state where you're not even enjoying it. This was like for me. I didn't really start enjoying games till I got a little older, and then by the time I stopped playing them, that's when I detoxed from dopamine for the most part. But then I just screwed around. Like I would just do horribly, and then just screw around and make dumb jokes with my brother. Mainly just having fun because I'm making jokes, not because I'm enjoying the game. Because the game itself isn't that fun. Um, but the wild thing is, like when you play games, in my experience, the time flies by ridiculously fast. You don't feel like you accomplished very much, or did very much, or you wonder how you were able to sit still for that long. But I hung outside, and all day, me and my sisters were breaking pieces of wood. I was mainly doing most of the work in there, carrying the sticks back, but breaking big logs, breaking big things, and getting them down to manageable sizes, and then throwing them on a fire. And that was a fun day. I had a good time. Everybody was happy. And the wild thing is, my youngest sister, the little one, she's never happy. She plays games for a couple seconds, she's just not having fun. She's doing a couple things here and not having fun. And it makes perfect sense in hindsight because when I was a little kid, I had fun by being outside and doing stuff and having bonfires. Um, but now that she's the youngest one, and I'm not the youngest anymore, um, she's not having fun playing all these fucking stupid games that I didn't have fun doing. And it hit me today. I was like, why haven't I been doing this sooner? This is what I did when I was a little kid, and I had a great time till I started playing video games. So I spent time with my sisters. I relate to them, hang out with them by playing video games. It's like a medium for hanging out, and that's a fucking terrible idea because it's creating bad habits. But uh, two, that's not how I had fun when I was a kid. You know, I'm still pretty young. I'm 20. I get it. But when I was a little kid, that's not how I had fun. I was outside. I was doing stuff, and the days were long. They were good. They were filled with fun, and I felt this level of satisfaction after they were over. I didn't feel like I wasted my time. I've been feeling so guilty the past several weekends, and I haven't been able to figure out exactly what it is. I think I figured out what it is. I think it's technology. And I don't play games, and if I do anything, it's on the weekend. If I watch a movie, it's on the weekend. And there's a time and a place for that. I believe it's very small. I don't think it's necessary. You can live your entire life, the rest of your life, without ever touching a game or a movie again, and you'll be happy. But you can enjoy those things. And occasionally, there's a movie that comes out that I want to watch with my family. There's one I want to watch too. It's the German remake of All Quiet on the Western Front. I want to watch that one. But um, it just. One second. Sorry about that. That was a little awkward. I had to pause the video because I see someone walk by my door. It was actually my dad. He said goodnight. So sorry about that. I had to pause it. Kind of interrupted my flow. Um, but basically, what I wanted to say is that you need to quit video games. You need to quit watching this social media stuff. And obviously using social media to hopefully watch this video. And hopefully some people watch it, but no. I'd rather people not watching people be healthy than to be unhealthy and watch my content because hopefully you're watching my content because it's giving you advice to become healthy. If you're already healthy, then you don't need to be here. Mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever. But yeah, I suppose. I mean, unless you want some, I could give some advice real quick on how I quit video games. And it's gonna sound too stupid, but you really just need to just stop, do something in the real world, start out small, and then you realize you don't really like these things. You realize you don't like them at all to begin with, but then you realize that the other things in life are far more vibrant and more enjoyable than video games are. And as time goes on, you will eventually just not really want to play video games anymore. Reminds you of something my dad told me. My dad's good friend was named Kevin. His mom or stepmom or somebody who in his family was, or aunt, no, his aunt, was a nutritional personal trainer type person, and she would always create a diet for people and say, all right, 6 days a week, follow the diet to a fucking T. You know, so I shouldn't swear. To a friggin' T, you get this thing just right, every amount of everything right. Sunday, eat whatever you want, do whatever you want. Eat 15 Big Macs. I mean, I don't care. I'm not going to stop you. You eat whatever you want. And it worked incredibly well because people would eat all the healthy stuff, and initially they'd be like, oh man, I get to eat that garbage again. And they would eat the garbage again. You know what would happen? They would enjoy it the first time, the second time, third time. eating healthy, your body's detoxing from these chemicals, and you're microdosing them or macrodosing them back into your system. And your body's you just detox your body from these things, and you're feeling sick and nasty after eating stuff. I mean, I can't even eat pancakes from IHOP anymore without getting a stomach ache. I have to make everything from scratch these days. And in the video, in the future, I'll make recipe videos, but that's beside the point. Basically, by the couple months in, these people, when they get their cheat day, a literal cheat day where they can eat anything they want, they would choose just to stay on the diet because their body detox from all this nasty stuff that they were eating for who knows how fucking long. And not only did it not taste good, they didn't like it, and they didn't want to go back to it. And they actually stayed on the diet that they were on 6 days a week, then 7 days a week, because they didn't like the food anymore. That's what it's like getting real life activities and then slowly detoxing your brain from video games. I started just like doing curls in my basement because I didn't know anything about weightlifting. So I do push-ups, sit-ups, 30 push-ups, 30 sit-ups. That's my daily workout. And eventually I started incorporating curls, and eventually started having like video sprees where I'd watch a whole bunch of videos from Athlete X. It's kind of the source of information back in the day. It's a lot more better information now, but that's where I learned. I got my foundation for a lot of things from Athlete X. I'd recommend Eugene Teo, what I think his name is. No, I do not recommend Greg Doucette, but there's some other people too. The Buff Dude is really good. Eric Bugenhagen, a good channel. Kyriakos Kapakulak, the Grizzly. That's pretty entertaining if you want something to watch. That's pretty cool. But I started watching mainly Athlete X because that's what was around when I was younger, at 13, 7 years ago. And I just slowly started incorporating real life things. Eventually, I started going to school. Then eventually, I was like, I couldn't play video games most of the day because I was at school. Then I had to go home and do homework. Then eventually, I became a swimmer. I was getting up at 4 in the morning, I was at school swimming at 5 o'clock. School started at 7. Well, not 7, but breakfast at school was served at 7, and I would practice get done. So I'd swim for 2 hours, first hour gym class. School would end 3:30. I'd be walking out and I'd be going around the basement because our school layout's weird, and go to the swimming place again, and I would be there for another 2 hours, or 3 hours sometimes, and come home from school. Had choice homework or sleep. I chose sleep. I didn't do very well in school, which is a good thing. But eventually got to the point where I literally couldn't play video games. I was coming home, I would see my brother playing games, and I just kind of watching. I was like, hey, what's going on? We'd hang out for 15 minutes, and I'd go to sleep. I'd get up again at 4 in the morning, or sometimes a little earlier, and I would go to school again. I'd do it all again. It was having like, what the math is, from like 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. That's like 13-hour days at school. And as a swimmer, and I performed very well. I joined the swim team not knowing how to swim, and I performed pretty well. But having real life activities and real life goals and real life things to work towards helped me tremendously. And I got to a point where I literally couldn't play games anymore, and I didn't care a whole lot to play them when I could. Um, you know, you just gotta detox from it, and then you gotta replace the bad habits with the good habits. That's the advice I would give. My case is a little unique. I was never dependent on video games like some people are. And I have a relative of mine that's older than me, like he's 30 years old almost now, but he was like 25 at the time. And he's having seizures, and he couldn't. And like the doctor say, you shouldn't be looking at these repeating images. Shouldn't be no TV, this and that. And he's like, I can't stop. I'm not gonna stop because video games are my life. Video games are my life. After this, after that, blah blah blah. I would rather die than give up video games. I was like, you reap what you sow, whatever. But I was never that down bad with video games. Other things, I don't think I was ever that down bad ever, thankfully. But so I was never super addicted to games, but I was a gamer, and I would have sometimes 8-hour sessions, 9-hour sessions. Most of the time, it was probably when the worst days for about a period of a year, it might have been like 6 hours a day, but most of the time it was a couple of 2-hour sessions, or a 4-hour session, or maybe a 5-hour session. But it was a period of time in my life where I was doing 6-hour sessions, I think, every day with my older brother. Yeah. Suppose I'll end this video now because I'm not here to waste your time and tell you all kinds of stories. Just want to give you some advice, give you some insight. Basically, if I could summarize everything, I would say you're gonna lose your time off if you, and you're not gonna enjoy it if you spending that time on technology. Time you won't get back, by the way. But you'll enjoy it a lot more. Your friends will have. Yeah, you can invite people over. You'll have more fun with a bonfire or something simple. Just go and get sticks, dude. It's not that hard to get sticks. I mean, unless you're in the middle of a city, then you gotta buy some firewood. But that stuff's not that expensive. I hope not where you live. I hope it's not really expensive where you live. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, sorry, I go all over the place a lot. I'm getting better at this, but use your time on something that you'll actually enjoy and have long term satisfaction with. I'm not going to look back on this, on the memories I created with my little sister today, and be like, I wish I didn't spend my free time doing that. No, I'm going to be like, man, I wish I spent more time doing that. Um, and I'm in the next weekend, guess what I'm going to do? We got a lot more wood in my backyard. A lot more wood to burn, and my little sister has fun starting fires and learning how to do stuff like that and messing around. So that is exactly what we're gonna do next weekend, and we're gonna have all kinds of fun. It's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a 1 day weekend, but I guarantee it'll feel a lot more longer than 1 day, because we're gonna spend the whole day hanging out, having fun, cooking stuff, and we're not gonna regret it. Like I've been feeling guilty every weekend for a while now. Haven't been able to figure out what it is. I think it's where I brought with my dad knocked on the door. I think I was about to tell you that. Been feeling guilty for a while. And every weekend afterwards, I was feeling guilty, and I couldn't figure out what it was that was making me feel guilty. Like I wasn't happy about the time I was spending. I wasn't recharging. I wasn't feeling better and more rejuvenated next day. I was getting less sleep, more miserable sleeping, getting better, lower quality of sleep and lower sleep. And it was just grinding at me every single friggin' day, dude. And it was harder and harder every day to go to the gym. And I kind of got this rule that if I feel like I really need to take a rest day, I'll wait, exercise again, and if I feel the same the next day, I'll take a break just so that my body can recover. I think Jocko Willink said something like that one time, and that's where I got that from. But day after day after day, I was getting worse, and I was not recharging, and I wasn't stopping either because I want to keep going and keep grinding. And probably not a good idea, but it builds mental strength, which is pretty cool, I guess. But besides that, I bet I'm going to sleep better tonight. I was up, the circadian rhythm, whatever it is. I was up, and I watched the sun go down, and I felt tired from watching it. I'm tired. I'm tired normally before I would be tired. Like, I'm tired before I would normally be tired, is what I'm trying to say. Just from being outside and watching the sun go down, watching the light change, and obviously not getting any blue light, but getting light from the fire instead. Hanging around my little sister who's going up on the hill, breaking some sticks, dragging them back down, throwing them on the fire. Got a cast iron pan, cooking up some bacon, some marshmallows, having some fun. Marshmallows are not good for you, but I had fun with my little sister. I'm not gonna regret eating. I probably had two. I'm not gonna regret that. That was good. A good time, good memories, and it was fun. And I enjoyed it. And you know what? I'm gonna do it again next weekend. I'm gonna grind this week. 6 days a week, 1 day off. Next one, we go. If we can, we go every other at my place. But sorry, beside the point. I'm not trying to waste your time. Hope you have a good night, dude. Hope you learned something. Hope you don't waste your time. Hope you don't make the same mistakes I did. And if you do, I hope you learn from your mistakes. And if you didn't, I hope you learn from mine. Because, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to help. So have a good night, dude. Enjoy your time off or your time grinding. Have a good night, dude.